welcome back to Plow and Pantry. I'm out here today. It is early 6:30 in the morning and I am trying to get a push to put this section of the garden in. I still haven't done it. So I'm starting here today with some watermelon. First row out here I have some tomatillos and then a lot of cucumbers. Some of them I'm trialing for the University of Tennessee. Some are the ones I want to plant. And I have about an hour and a half. It's a busy week. I've got to get my daughter to work, so I'm hoping to get this whole section done. We'll see though. It's mostly prepped, but we'll see how much we can get done in that short amount of time. So I have 5 types of watermelon I'm doing today. And so I'm gonna make 5 piles in my area with some, this is just a compost manure mix. I have some peat moss I stole from over by where I'm working on raspberries. Got a little Biotone starter. Today I normally direct sow all of my watermelon, but today I was out of seeds. I thought I had more. That or I've lost them somewhere. So I had to order more. So I started the ones I had. So I have some plants in here. 2 types. I believe they're Crimson Sweet and the Sugar Baby. So I will get those in the ground and then I will be direct sowing the others. So we plant watermelon in mounds to keep the dirt. They really like warm soil. And so I do that to keep them near the, closer something is to the top, the more warm the soil is, especially when the seeds are germinating. A lot of people do way bigger mounds than what I'm doing. I haven't really found that necessary. And since I move where my things go every year, I don't necessarily want mounds all over my garden, you know? But I do 3 per pile. Sometimes I'll put more seeds in that and pull one. I will get these watered in after I have the whole thing done, and then sometime in the next week I'll get out here and mulch these too. The peat moss pretty much just to keep it light and fluffier, because this compost manure mix that I use for most plantings it tends to, when it doesn't have mulch on top of it, it tends to kind of mat down and harden a little bit, and I don't want it doing that because it makes it harder for the water to penetrate until I can get this mulch, because I don't know how long it's going to be. Okay, the ones I had already started were Crimson Sweet and a Sugar Baby. And I got Black Jewel, which is new to me this year. Sugar Baby Bush, which is just a different growth habit I wanted to try out. And Benny Comida, this one is also, Kodima, is also new to me. It's a small one, it looks fun. Watermelon are in. I'm going to go grab my tomatillos and get started on that row. Okay, tomatillos are in. Humidity is seriously kicking up. It's already getting hot. All right, I'm gonna go grab cucumbers and work on the next row. Okay, the next 2 rows are experimental slicing cucumber. Well, a row of slicing cucumbers and a row of burpless cucumbers from the University of Tennessee that I'm trialing. And their home garden trials are always comparative. So there's always 2 of the same type of thing, but different cultivars that you're trying together. So in this case, one of the pairs compared, I don't remember which one are slicing, which one are burpless right now. One of them is tasty and tender green compared to each other, and one is Gateway and Eversweet. I've never done any of those, I don't think. I've maybe tried the Eversweet, I'm not positive. Anyways, normally I direct seed all my cucumbers, but again, I was worried about time, so I went ahead and plopped some in a tray. These are still babies, just starting to get the nubs of their first true leaves, but they should be fine if I get them in the ground now. And if not, I still have some extra seeds I can plop in there. So I'm gonna do 1 row with the tasty and tender green and 1 row with the Gateway and Eversweet. And then these over here are from the kids' trial, so I'm not putting those in. My girls will put those in later. Fancy meeting you here again. So it's the next morning. I did not finish the whole row. I did get all the watermelon in, the tomatillos, and I got all of the slicing cucumbers in yesterday. Then we had to go take care of some neighbors' chickens, take my daughter to work. Today I am getting started on the pickling cucumbers, and then I'm hoping to clear out the area I want to put the green beans and get those planted as well. Okay, I got 2.5 rows of the pickling cucumbers in. Some of them over here I got a little bit deep. This area, the mulch is thick and the cardboard is still fairly new, so I was having to, that's why I was using my my Cobra head, because I was having to poke a hole and kind of scoot some cardboard aside. And so some of the seeds I might have gotten a little deeper than I should because I was trying to look for that little hole that I had made. But luckily cucumbers should spring up in a couple of days. I'll know whether or not I got them too deep and I can put a couple more out there. I did a half row of like an old package of seeds I have from a different company, 2 rows from my normal Baker Creek. I usually get them in Baker Creek or in my gardener. These are all Boston pickling cucumbers. I usually save my own seed, but I didn't last year, so I had to buy them this year. Hello, focus. Okay, half a row over there. And then this row and this row are the Boston pickling. I'm saving this row and that row for fall peas. I need to get in here and weed. This is not an area I prepped yet this year, so I need to get an area and weeds. What I'm gonna do next is come over here, and this area is where I wanna put my green beans. But I think first, I'm gonna cut back this comfrey area. There's a ton of it here. So it's okay to lose this even for the bees. There's still plenty for them to mess with. I'm gonna pull this out even with those panels so that I have this whole square right here to work with to put in some beans. And we'll see if I get that in the ground today and ready enough in the time that I have. little bit more over here to clean out. The rest of this is pretty much ready, but I wanted to point out what I was doing here. I'm kind of cutting off over at the line there. Now I'm removing grasses. This bucket is where I put the regular weeds like that, and any grubs I find, beetles, stuff like that, and I dump it for the chickens. They are used to that and love my little treat buckets. They like to dig through it even if it's not the grasses or weeds they love to eat. If you just dump a pile of anything in a chicken coop, they will dig through it and flatten it out. It just entertains them. So I always like to bring them buckets of weeds, and they love that too. This pile is these invasive things that have popped up this year, and I have my theories about where they came from. It includes a hybridized plant that I got from a nursery, only because I ordered 2 of them and I only have 2 places on my property where this stuff is showing up now, and it's where I planted those 2 things last year. And then also the roots of the comfrey plants that I'm pulling out. These will spread again, and they will restart next year. Comfrey plants reseed themselves easily, and I don't know if they also spread by root because they seem to grow so much right under each other. It feels that way, but I don't want to chance it. So I'm taking this stuff to the burn pile because it's stuff I don't want spreading. All the comfrey leaves I chopped off, I put here. This will be compacted down tomorrow morning. I've already put one entire large plant here, and it was packed full, and it went down to the 1 foot mark. So this makes a great bed filler. A lot of people don't like to plant comfrey. They consider it invasive, and I can totally see why. But it's really easy to chop with just regular hand pruners. This comes apart, chop it right at the base. It's an easy one. It slices right through, and it makes a great bed filler. Better, in my opinion, than hugelkultur with the wood because it breaks down faster and adds a lot of nitrogen. This will, though, probably give me baby comfrey plants in the next spring because of all the seeds. So I might actively cover it over the winter with thick cardboard and a lot of other stuff just to try to keep that down, unless I decide I want a box full of comfrey right over here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to continue pulling out these smaller weeds now and feeding them to the chickens. I'm going to go dump this for them now so I can have a fresh bucket. Finish this off. This part is actually just a walkway. I don't think I'm going to put anything here, but I thought while I was over here I'd go ahead and clean it out. It wasn't on my list today. It wasn't a priority, but I have a hard time ignoring things that need to be done when I'm already right there doing something similar. So I'm going to just go ahead and get this cleared out. I don't know how much time I have left, so hopefully I will finish getting this done and get the beans in the ground. Okay, I think what I'm going to do here, because I like to do random patterns and things, I think it's fun. This is the spot where the beans are going. Pardon the chickens, they're loud. So I have 4 types of beans going out here. I've got 2 that I'm trialing for UT, my own green beans and my yellow wax beans. So I decided, because I couldn't decide whether I wanted to go this way or this way, so I decided to do quadrants. I don't think I have very many each of the UT ones, and if I'm growing those, I don't need to grow very many of my own as well. So I divide it into quadrants. I've got a couple rows here, 3 rows there, 3 rows there, 3 rows here. Actually, I put 2 rows over there because the last row would have been really close to all that stuff, and it's going to encroach a bit, and I just didn't want to deal with that. So I think I'm going to do my green beans there and my yellow wax beans here because I love my yellow wax beans, and that's only 2 rows of green beans. I like Blue Lake green beans, and then I've still got 6 small rows of the other ones from UT. So what I have, let me sit you down here. So normally I soak my beans overnight before I plant them, and I did not do that today because I wasn't sure I would get to them and I didn't want them sitting too long. But my yellow wax beans I love are Burde Rokencourt, and my favorite, I actually just got these from a free thing this year, Blue Lake bush beans. I ordered organic pole beans, but I don't have any pole space left. And what I'm trialing for UT are bush beans. I've got Buff Valentine and Magnum. So that's what's going to go in the ground over here. I always like to keep some back in case something happens and they don't germinate or something, then I can try again. Make sure it's not user error when I'm giving feedback to UT. I wasn't super accurate with spacing, but it's all done, and it was kind of funny that they all were different colored seeds. So the Magnum ones were dark brown, and the Buff Valentine were a buff color, and my Blue Lake ones were white, and my Birthday Rocancourt, which is a yellow wax bean, it's the lightest bean, had black seeds. So that's just really funny to me. I like weird facts like that. Anyways, so I actually have a couple things and like 5 more minutes. I have some jicama seeds that I've been soaking. I would like to find a place somewhere. I'd like to find a place somewhere out there, tuck them in between things, and get those in the ground. And if I have time to find, maybe I'll put some in the walkway. One of my daughters requested some edamame. I haven't grown it in a while. If I could grow like just like one little small, I wonder if I can intersperse them in my sweet potatoes right there. We'll think about it. We'll see how much I can get done in the next 5 minutes. I decided not to plant the jicama with the sweet potatoes because my thought was they're both root crops, so I don't want to plant them together. Got some weeds here. I looked up to see if I could plant them in between peppers, and I can. So I've got some peppers here. I've got the seeds I've been soaking. And the tag, not because I won't recognize it, but because I need to remember that they're here when it starts coming up and that they're not weeds. And these have been soaking longer than I intended. I was hoping to get them in yesterday and couldn't, so hopefully they'll still be okay. Kind of just planting them in between the peppers. As long as the peppers don't shade them out, I think it'll be okay. Because as they get bigger, they do tend to do that. Jicama takes a really long time to germinate. It's like 2-3 weeks, which is why I don't want to accidentally mistake them for weeds, because it'll be so long after I plant these that we see anything. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to fit in this bed, and I only have like 6 seeds left. Debating putting some way over there because that bed's not full. Let's go do that. It's also very shallow though. Doesn't have a lot of good soil in it. I need to add some. If you hear that buzzing sound, that is actually a Vole repellent. It is a something that you dig in the ground and it makes that sound and it makes them go away. It has worked very well for me. It's an organic control. I've had Vole problems. Last year they ate all my carrot roots. But they are solar, so you don't have to have any electricity out here. You just have to get used to the buzzing, which I really only hear if I'm like right here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it that way. These go about 1 inch deep. I lost one. I lost a seed. That is all I'm going to be able to get done today. I got to go get showered, get to the neighbor's chickens, get my daughter to work, get some stuff done inside because it's getting super hot now. But thanks for joining me in the garden. Getting a lot done over the last 2 days. We've made some progress.